All right, welcome back to another episode of the Perfect 10 podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jacob Erdy. Alongside me, as you already know, Daniel Dees.
That's right. We up here, we talking, which has something to do with our list today. We're doing top 10 sportscasters.
Sportscasters, yes.
We're casting. We're not technically sportscasters because we talk about mostly other shit than sports.
Yeah, and I mean sportscaster, basically any sports media personalities. Anybody that professionally talks about sports.
Right. And what really sprung this list on was our parents, Boot Crew Media, actually posted their top 10 worst sportscaster. If you haven't seen the list, here it is. They said 10, Charles Barkley, 9, Nick Wright, 8, Rachel Nichols, 7, Colin Cowherd, 6, Troy Aikman, 5, Kendrick Perkins, 4, Joe Buck, 3, Chris Collinsworth, 2, Stephen A. Smith, number 1, Skip Bayless.
See, to me, that top 3 is impenetrable for worst.
I would put Nick Wright at number 3 for me.
I don't yet. I mean, to me, that top 3 is just.
See, I could tolerate Chris Collinsworth because he actually played the game.
Collinsworth is horrible, dude.
He's horrible, but I respect him because he played at elite level.
Every play of the game is the greatest play he's ever seen.
And
it's terribly annoying.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that. As a matter of fact, I did something for the first time in Perfect 10 history. I did a top 10 dishonorable mention.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't do dishonorable mentions because we already did, which I mean we didn't keep ours specifically to sports. We had already done top 10 annoying fan bases. Oh wait, I'm tripping, dude.
No, we did not do fan bases. Boot Crew did top 10 fan bases yesterday.
No, we have done fan bases though.
We have?
Episode like 81.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I forget what we
I thought we've already done. Did we not do worst?
I don't think we did.
I'm tripping, dude.
One of us is tripping.
It's me.
Okay.
I feel like it is me on this one.
I won't fight you there. All right. Let's go ahead and get honorable mentions out of the way.
Okay.
Honorable mentions. I do have Charles Barkley.
Dude, I can't stand Charles Barkley, dude.
He's not top 10. He's not one of the best, but I give him honorable mention because he just says it like it is. He's not afraid to.
All he does is say, "Oh, these kids these days are soft."
That's no.
That's all he says.
We'll get to that.
That's all he says.
We will get to that in just a second.
Okay.
He's not afraid to hurt feelings, and I respect that.
And you can barely understand what his slobbering mouth is saying the whole time. Might as well have Lou Holtz up there. Terribly annoying, dude.
All right. I also have Kenny Smith. I'm one of the few people who actually like Joe Buck.
I'm fine with Joe Buck. He's not one of my favorites, but
I got Tony Romo.
Okay.
Tony Romo was really good before the snap. He's like, oh, look how they're lined up, blah, blah, blah. He actually understands the X's and O's.
But he's gotten too much into himself now. It's like he's trying to guess every play, and it gets annoying.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's why he's not top 10. I got Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping, Dominic Cruz. I had to get the UFC guys up in there.
Right.
I got Harold Letterman for boxing. I got Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller's sister, doing the sideline TNT reporting.
Okay.
And I got Marcus Spears.
Okay.
And I got a super mention.
All right.
Stuart Scott, rest in peace, homie.
Okay, my first honorable mention, Stuart Scott.
Rest in peace.
I got Kirk Herbstreit, Louis Riddick, Dick Vitale.
I do like Louis Riddick.
I love Louis Riddick, but
I forgot about him.
think
he's my honorable mention. He's not top 10, but he's definitely honorable mention.
But I think he did just get hired back on somewhere in a front office position, or somewhere. He just got hired somewhere. I can't remember.
That dude is very intelligent.
Every list I was Googling, I could not find his name, dude. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, John Buccigross, and I got Andrew Hawkins. Hawk.
Ooh.
I love Hawk, dude. He's hilarious.
That's a good one.
He's got one of the best social medias of any sportscaster.
That's a good one. I didn't think of Hawk.
Dude, that video he made of he reenacted freaking from The Last Dance.
Yeah. Wait, no.
He had Coke all over his nose, and he's like, "Yeah, no, pass go that way." And talking about Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
He reenacted that scene, dude, and it is unbelievably funny, dude.
Yeah.
But no, Hawk, he's like one of the new guys, like the new era of sportscasters.
Yes.
And he's hilarious.
Yes.
But that's on my honorable mention.
All right, my dishonorable. Here's my 10 through 1. I'm just going to fire it off.
All right.
10, I got Max Kellerman. 9, Troy Aikman. 8, Kendrick Perkins. 7, Mike Tirico. 6, the softest dude who loves ragging on the new generation for being soft, whereas he's just as soft I got Shaq.
I knew you were about to say Shaq.
Oh, 100%.
But
that dude's so thin-skinned.
Well, yeah, whatever, dude. I mean,
5, it's a tie between Gary Danielson and Vern Lundquist.
Okay.
4, Paul Feinbaum. 3, Nick Wright. 2, Skip Bayless. Number 1, Stephen A. Smith.
Okay. I think I would still, in my worst list, I would have Skip Bayless number 1 because at least, I could, in my opinion, when you take both of them and they're like ridiculous rants, right? To me, Stephen A. seems like he's playing a character.
Yeah.
And Skip Bayless sounds like he really means what he's saying.
I'm the exact opposite.
Okay.
I feel like Skip's playing the character and Stephen A. actually believes it. Like, case in point. Well, the reason I disdain Stephen A. Smith so much is that, 1, I feel like he does believe what he's saying. 2, like, he does not need to be talking about MMA on ESPN.
Oh, well, I mean, that's also fair. I don't know why they put him doing that.
Man, that pushed him at my number 1. Like, he acts like he knows what he's talking about.
I mean, I get you on that part. But
I hate it so much. Like, he just made a comment about the George Masvidal, Colby Covington fight.
Yeah.
And it just made my skin.
Why you say George, dude?
It's George. Well, George, Jorge. It's either or. It's interchangeable. He goes by both.
All right.
I say George.
I like that.
Yeah. But he said, like, how can you not be prepared for a wrestling match? Like, you're talking about going up against an elite grappler. You could train as much as you want. I mean, not much is going to happen if he's that much higher than you skill-wise.
Fair.
That's like saying, oh, how you let Steph Curry drain a 3 in your face.
Right. Yeah. Unguardable.
That's one of those things.
All right. So before we get on our list,
trivia question.
Yes.
Yeah. We remember. Look at us. We remember.
Good thing I put that there because I would have absolutely forgotten.
Yeah, we got a little cheat sheet here to remind us of shit.
All right. Now there's 2 very different numbers here. I think one is accumulative and one is net worth. Who is the highest paid sports commentator of all time or sportscaster of all time? There's one that's an accumulated number, like I guess all of his contracts added together, and there's one net worth, but it's the same person.
I'm gonna go Chris Berman.
No, think more of a radio personality.
Oh, radio.
Well, it's TV, sports radio. It's
Dan Patrick.
No.
Shit. Howard Cosell.
Nope, that was it. Huh? Wait, what were you about to say?
John Madden?
No, Jim Rome.
No shit.
Yeah, Jim Rome, net worth. This says 30 mil, but it says accumulation around 75 mil.
Okay, I can see that. He was the first. He's the prototype Stephen A. Skip. They all swagger jack Jim Rome.
Well, and Jim Rome was like the first one to do his own thing, kind of, from what I can remember.
Like, he was the first person who really spouted off the hot takes.
Yeah. But
and so everybody copied that.
And that's why they do it, but it's terribly annoying.
Yeah, it's oversaturated now. Jim Rome was perfect at what he was at the
time.
Yeah. I will mention Jim Rome.
Okay, fair. All right, so.
Yeah. All right, so another thing we got to remind ourselves.
I feel like we're bound to be overlapping a lot in this list, dude.
Probably. But before you do, hey, let's hit that pause button and go hit the 5 stars.
5 stars. Subscribe.
Yes, and go check out Boot Crew's other podcasts.
Yeah, and make sure you go subscribe to Boot Crew Media's YouTube because that's what you can see our beautiful faces right here. You can see
mine's being covered with a mic because I got to talk right up.
You can see the giveaways and whatnot. Eventually, we're going to pile up enough things on the shelf to where you won't see D's at all over here.
I don't want to be seen. I just want to be heard.
Yeah, and since, while you go subscribe to Boot Crew Media's YouTube so you can watch the pod, quick run through about the giveaways real quick.
Yeah.
There's 3 giveaways. There's 3 rules. 1, you have to leave. Your answer has to be in the comment of Boot Crew Media's YouTube on our video. 2, you have to answer all the questions specifically accurate. 3, you only get 1 guess at each giveaway. There's 3 giveaways. This is one right here I'm pointing to. Just name what this is or what it's from. 2, that one's a $50. There's a $100 giveaway. Ham and hats. I have one on now. You got to finish watching the video to catch it. Yeah. But there's 5 of them. I've already worn all 5, so you got to go back to the other videos to figure it out. And the 3rd one is a $100 giveaway. There's one thing in the studio that's been referenced very specifically.
Yes.
And you have to nail exactly what it is to
Spoiler
get the
alert,
money.
I actually said it in a past episode.
I
said the answer verbatim.
And I think I've said it in a long ago
Yes, you
episode.
did. Because when I was going back over the worst number ones, you actually said it.
Okay.
This was before this was like.
There was like 2 studios ago, probably.
Yeah. That was like Cigars on the Couch studio.
And it's like, it's so obvious in the studio too, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the giveaways. That's the rules. Dive in.
Yeah. All right. So my number 10, let's do this. Top 10 best sportscasters. Number 10, I got Jay Glazer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have him. He covers more. Well, now he's in the insider game now, like in NFL and stuff too. But he's more fight stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, he was a fighter. Well, actually, he was a stand-up comedian first. Then he did some professional fighting. Then he got into the reporting business.
Did we ever see any of his fights though, professionally?
He only fought 2 times. Like this was like he even admits it's like some slack ass bar fights. Like this was back 2003.
Oh, like was it MMA?
Yeah, MMA.
Well, in UFC though.
No, not UFC.
Okay.
This was like small promotion amateur shit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, hey, props to him though.
Well, he still trains too though.
But yeah, he actually owns I think it's called MVP. It's where he takes veterans, trains them, gets them over there.
And he's a big mental health advocate.
Yes, I actually just read his book, and it's a phenomenal book.
I heard it was good. Yeah.
Very, very good. I highly recommend it. Anybody who's struggling with that stuff, go read Jay Glazer's book. It's great. Also, he's the one who broke Spygate.
Really?
Yeah, he's the one who broke that. He actually had the video of them taping the Jets' defensive signals.
Okay.
He had that in possession.
Nice.
So, hey, that's what got him the number 10. Number 9, one of my celebrity crushes, Doris Burke.
Well, I thought you were going to say Kay Adams. She fine.
See, I'm a Doris Burke guy. She's like a fine wine. It's better with age.
I don't think that's true, dude. Hey. You don't have to look her up. I know.
I'm doing it for myself. I ain't doing it for you, dude.
Nah, dude. That is a horrible take.
Come on.
I mean, I hear you, dog.
Come on.
I hear you.
Damn. And she's very knowledgeable about the sport. She's not just a pretty face they put it in there for the views. Doris Burke actually knows.
That's fair, dude.
Look at that, putting a hump in the back.
Nah, dude. She ain't my type. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can't handle all woman. Dude, like she is like pristine.
I hear you, dude.
Just saying. Number 1. I mean, not number 1. She's number 1 for me. Number 1, Cougar.
We never had that jump before. Number 9, number 1.
Number 1, Cougar, maybe. Number 8, I credit this guy for the rise of the sport. I got Joe Rogan.
Oh, you're number 8?
Number 8's Joe Rogan.
We're gonna get back there.
Oh, okay. I'm very glad you got him.
Very soon. So my number 10, I got Gary Streisky.
Who?
New school guy. He's the Kimchi Poppy. He's a great social media follow. He's one of the newer. He's been doing SportsCenter on Snapchat for like 2-3 years, but then like about a year and a half ago, I guess
he got real obscure with this one.
Well, no, Gary Streisky. If you know who I'm talking about, the dude is great. Like he's hilarious. He's like a younger version of like.
I felt like you should have put Hawk above him.
Well, Hawks was like just before him, and like because I think Hawk also did SportsCenter on ESPN on Snapchat or SportsCenter on Snapchat, whatever. But Gary, he still does like the early morning shows. He's like a younger version of like a Butcher Cross or a Kenny Mayne type. Like he's funny. I
will mention Kenny Mayne.
And he's just like, there's some sportscasters that's like, well, they're just there, like feeding you the information. And some that's like, oh, this guy's fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Like, they make it more fun. He's one of those. He's like one of the future guys.
Oh, I meant to say, I know for a fact you have one guy listed.
Uh-huh.
I did not put him in my honorable mention for a reason.
Okay.
I think he's just the most average guy.
All right.
We'll get to that in a minute. I know for a fact you have him ranked.
Okay, sure, whatever. My number 9 spot, Joe Rogan.
Okay, Joe Rogan. Yes, I credit him for the rise of the UFC. Like, he was the only recognizable face and voice when the sport was on the come up.
Yeah, and he's been there. How long has he been there now? Like
his
15 years probably.
Shit, longer than that.
Well, longer. Let's see. I guess since I was into it, because I mean,
his first one was
at least
he was
years.
old school. He was like a back.
Oh, he had hair still, didn't he?
Yeah, he was skinny. The first fight, the first event, he was like a backstage reporter, like Megan O'Leary is now. It was in Dothan, Alabama. I know that one. I just can't remember. I'm looking it up right now. UFC 12. So UFC 12.
UFC 12. Aren't they on like 280 or something?
They just did 272.
Okay.
It was in 1997.
Oh, wow. So 25?
25 years he's been doing this.
Sheesh.
And the best part, not many people know this, Joe Rogan is a legit badass.
Right, yeah.
Like he's a Taekwondo kickboxing champion. Did Taekwondo tournaments. If you YouTube it, Joe Rogan spinning back fist, you go look at one of his tournaments. He knocked a dude out with a spinning back kick to the liver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he actually taught GSP that very technique too. There's also a video of him teaching George St. Pierre that spinning back kick technique. The dude kicks like a mule.
Yeah, he's real sturdy.
Yeah, and he's also a black belt under Jean-Jacques Machado.
But yeah,
and Eddie Bravo.
But yeah, his commentating is great. Like on the sport, watching it, like.
Well, lately he's fallen off. He's just like every other old head who not grew up, but came up in the booth. They start off. That's like the Tony Romo thing, but Tony Romo experienced it a lot quicker than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
For the longest time, Joe Rogan was that color guy. That he knew exactly what was going on. He knew he's setting up for this submission. Right. And it turns out that. But now he's kind of fallen off.
Okay.
But that's why I have him so low.
I just like their reactions and stuff. And he's and he's great in the ring after. I mean, it's kind of a weird job to do to have to jump in there and immediately interview somebody right after a fight. He doesn't press too much. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he does get some slack as some guy will get knocked the fuck out, has obvious brain damage. Like, hey, so what happened?
Oh, yeah, there was that meme going around of him sitting down, laying down next to the guy, and the guy's all folded up. Dude, yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
So that was my 9 spot. My number 8 spot, I got Chris Berman.
Too low.
Okay,
we'll get back to that.
All right.
My number 7, I got Teddy Atlas.
For boxing?
Boxing.
Yeah. Okay, I know the name.
Trained Mike Tyson with Custom Auto. That's where he trained a lot of good boxers. He actually has some very good technique DVDs.
Is he still a sportscaster?
He's a podcaster now. The fight, if you're into boxing and MMA, go listen to the fight with Teddy Atlas. The dude is super knowledgeable. The only reason I have him so low is because he just lacks that personality.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more of it's not as mainstream.
But when it comes to
not anymore.
Broadcasters, I don't think any broadcaster I have listed knows their sport better than Teddy Atlas knows boxing. The dude's just a student of the game. He knows everything.
Oh, dude, I just thought of one too. What is his name? I doubt you're gonna. No, there's no way you're gonna have him. Honorable mention. What's the real redneck dude's name? He covers NASCAR and he covers college football a lot now too.
Oh yeah, shit. Skinny guy with the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Tall, skinny, long face. He looks like Abe Lincoln, basically.
Yeah. Hold on.
Dude, what is his name? That dude's hilarious. It was so weird. He covered NASCAR for the longest time, and then they just
Marty Smith. You
know
how I got to his name? I Googled literally redneck ESPN college football guy.
Nice. Yeah.
First name, Marty Smith.
You could kind of tell that he was obviously a NASCAR guy for the longest time, and then they just took him and assigned
That's a good honorable mention.
They just assigned him to college football, and he just had to start going with it, and he's hilarious.
Oh, the dude's very charismatic.
Yeah.
I like him.
But anyway, that was off the rails, but it just hit me.
I don't know how it went from Teddy Atlas to Marty.
Well, it was kind of an obscure pick.
All right, number 6. One of the OGs for the NFL. I got Rich Eisen.
Okay. I don't have Rich Eisen.
Okay.
I didn't think about it. Is he still running the 40?
I don't know. I mean, we did the 40. Not last year.
Just last week.
Yeah. The combine, I think, still going on.
No, it ended.
Oh, it did? He didn't run the 40. Let's see.
He normally does it. It became like a charity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's normally out there running in a full suit.
Yeah, full suit. No, he did. He did the 22 combine.
Does it say what he ran?
No. He ran it in 6 flat.
I mean, not bad.
Not bad for an old dude.
Yeah, and in a suit.
And in a suit.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that's my speed right now.
right, probably so.
Yeah, just off the couch, fat as hell.
Yeah.
Good job, Rich.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do like Rich Eisen. I just don't. I don't know that I really watch that much stuff that he does now.
Well,
Don't he have his own show now too?
yeah, the Rich Eisen show.
I'm trying to think. I'm getting him constantly flip flop back and forth in my brain with the other older dude that does a fantasy football podcast with like
Matthew Berry.
Yeah.
Not a fan of Matthew Berry.
Yeah, not really me either.
Yeah, it's a guy who just like he found his little niche thing in sports, and all of a sudden he's the expert.
Right.
But yeah, Rich Eisen. I have him at 6 because when he was at ESPN, if he was still at ESPN back in like the 2000s, 90s, he'd probably be number 1. But he went to the NFL. All he does is cover NFL. But when he covers other sports, he's pretty awesome too.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
he's the first guy who's like, I don't want to cover other sports. I just want to cover football. And then as soon as NFL Network launched, that was their ace.
Oh, dude, I just thought of another honorable mention, dude. Which he's got. Yeah, he has to be considered a sportscaster. Chris Hansen.
Oh, that's a good one. Honorable mention, Chris Hansen.
Well, NFL Red Zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to go
Chris Hansen and Andrew Siciliano.
But Hansen, to be able to go nonstop all day long.
Those two dudes are hardcore with.
Is he hooked up to like a catheter or something? Like,
that hurts just thinking about it.
But I mean, like, he covers what, 6 hours nonstop?
He's living the life. I mean, I would love to do that.
But dude, like
how do you watch that much? Like, had that broadcast, no lunch, no drink. Like, I'd be like, oh, let's crack a beer open. Let's get this,
dude. And like, it's unbelievable how flawlessly he jumps back and forth from game to game to game to game to game to score and the person.
He doesn't even have an earpiece in either. That's the craziest.
It's unbelievable. The dude's a machine. So I mean, honorable mention Chris Hansen. I did not think of that before.
Chris Hansen and Andrew Siciliano. One does DirecTV, the other one does.
I don't think I ever watched Siciliano.
Siciliano's good. Chris Hansen's the GOAT though. When it comes to that, honorable mention both of those guys.
All right, so my number 7 spot. I got Jim Nance.
Good pick.
I love Jim.
I don't have him, but good pick.
Love Jim Nance, dude. And he covers, golf and I think he does the Masters.
Dude has a good voice.
He does not Sunday Night Football. Freaking is it Monday? No, not Monday Night Football. It's the Sunday afternoon. It's the CBS afternoon game, right?
Yes.
Him and Tony Romo.
Yes.
And just for being able to put up with Tony Romo being hammered drunk all the time in the booth.
I mean, Tony Romo's living the life.
Jim Nance is great though.
Yes, he is. I love Jim Nance. Good guy.
My 6th spot. I got Bob Costas.
Not a fan.
Dude, possibly the greatest voice in sports.
I gotta go Jim Nance.
Jim Nance has that nice soft voice, but Bob Costas, I don't even know what.
There's
I don't even know what accent it is.
Another guy that I have ranked. We'll get into.
Okay.
Actually, my next pick.
How do you not like Bob Costas, dude?
Just don't. He seems like a little prick. I don't like. There's just something about him that I just don't like. He's probably the nicest guy, but there's
covering the Olympics and whatnot. A huge baseball guy for the longest time. He's done just about everything.
Remember when he got pink eye at the Olympics?
I do not remember that.
Oh yeah, Google that. That dude looked like someone took a shit right in his eye.
Nice. But no, Bob Costas though, like I say, one of the smoothest voices. But anyway, that was my 7-6.
Oh, number 5. The other dude has such a smooth voice for sports. I got Dan Patrick.
Too low, dude.
Okay.
We're gonna get back to it.
Okay. And my number 4. You already ranked him. I got Chris Berman.
Whoop.
Yep, Mr.
Whoop.
That is besides John Madden, rest in peace to John Madden, rest in peace Pat Summerall. Chris Berman is football right now.
He is.
He is the voice of football right now.
Yeah, he was for sure. I don't know if he's still the tops.
Then you gotta go Joe Buck after him.
I don't know.
Joe Buck gets like the Super Bowl. He gets the biggest games.
I got somebody. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
I got one who's okay. We're gonna get to.
Hold on, I know who. Yeah.
I don't think so, but
we'll see.
That was your number what?
That was my number 4.
All right, so my 5-4. 5. I'm assuming this might be the one that you were talking trash about earlier. I got SVP.
Yep.
Scott Van Pelt.
He is C+ average.
Yeah, no, dude. Scott Van Pelt. He has a way of
I think
of making you care about it more somehow. And he's the only one when he does his monologues that I enjoy.
I feel like he he tries too hard to be cool.
His monologue always skews positive. Yeah, it's kind of a heart wrencher, you know what I'm saying? But like he always has a good point to what anytime he has a monologue. But also, he's the first or maybe the only one I can think of now of like live, like main network hosts that just wings it, has a good time. I get what you're saying. He tries to be too cool.
See, I think
when he talks about going down to LSU and tailgating and getting rowdy, he talks about getting drunk and stuff. But
yeah, no one believes that. He doesn't really seem like he's about that life.
I mean, you don't have to believe it, but
I mean, if anybody, Ron Russillo was way cooler.
Okay, even Russillo was always second fiddle to SVP, though.
Oh yeah, that's why he left.
But really, and their podcast they did together for like 6 episodes was one of the best sports podcasts. I was like, well, freak, they're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, that was like a very short-lived thing that Russillo decided to break off and do his own thing.
Yeah.
Dude broke up the band too soon. I feel like that podcast would have went on. Russillo would be a much bigger deal.
Yeah. Well, that and I like Stanford Steve when he's on there with SVP. A lot of people don't like Stanford Steve, but
not Stanford Steve guy.
But no, I love SVP, dude.
Not me.
I don't know what other sportscaster I would stay up late and watch after the game.
I got one. He's my number 1 pick.
Okay,
we'll get to that later.
I got a feeling we're gonna hit a buzzer.
It's been so long.
But that's my 5 spot. My number 4 spot, RIP, one of the GOATs, John Madden.
See, I didn't put any. I put active guys. That's why I put Stuart Scott as the super mention. John Madden, he also gets a super mention.
Oh, no, mine are, well, I guess almost all of mine. Yeah, pretty much all of mine are active except John Madden.
Yeah, that's the voice of football. That is the face of football forever and always.
I guess he had to be top 5 for me. I don't know that I know we had to watch like games that he
for sure
did like when we were younger.
Greatest game
I don't remember them.
Oh, the greatest game he's ever called was that Brett Favre Monday Night Football game against the Raiders after his dad died.
I was just about to say
that was the greatest John Madden. That was like the greatest football thing I've ever watched.
See, I remember watching that game, but I don't remember like those details.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, John Madden had to make the list. Well, I guess if you're only doing active, then
yeah,
sure.
That's rest in peace, homie. I mean, you shaped football. He really did. Football would not be the juggernaut it is without John Madden.
I agree. Yeah, well, and I mean, Madden just
I mean that was his baby.
Synonymous with football.
Yeah, that game would not have been as big if it didn't have John Madden's name on it. It could have been.
Well, I mean,
EA Sports NFL football. It wouldn't have been as big.
QB Club 2002. You know,
I feel like it'd been
NFL Blitz, all that stuff died off.
Yeah, but it was just the Madden name. Like everybody wanted to play Madden.
Right.
Rest in peace. All right, that was your 5-4.
Yeah.
My number 3. I got Ernie Johnson.
Oh, NBA?
Inside NBA, TNC.
Okay. I like Ernie Johnson.
That is the voice of reason in sports.
Yeah, that is fair. And he's the only one that's bearable to listen speak on that whole panel.
Bullshit. Kenny, Charles, love Kenny and Charles. I
like Kenny. I can't stand Charles Barkley.
I can't stand Shaq. See, when they replaced C-Web with Shaq, inside the NBA got much worse. No,
that show is terrible because
it's not. Oh, bullshit.
All it is Shaq and Charles just arguing the whole time.
Yes,
and all Shaq does is call him out on rings.
Yeah, that's it.
And all Barkley does is talk about how people are soft these days. That's it.
Well, yeah, Shaq does the same thing. Like, you can't talk about Lakers without Shaq chiming in. You can't show a Dwight Howard highlight without Shaq losing his fucking mind. He is so soft when it comes to Dwight Howard. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Charles, I just can't even stand to listen to him talk. It's terrible. They should add Lou Holtz to the panel. Is he still alive?
Yes. Okay. I mean, probably the perfect.
Oh, the curse, dude. No.
Watch.
That's my bad. My bad, Lou. Shout!
Do you know what happens if Lou Holtz kicks it?
Shout out Ty Schmidt though, dude. He has the dude on the Pat McAfee show has the best Lou Holtz impression, dude. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's still alive. He is 85.
Oh,
we get 3 weeks grace period.
Oh man, that is my bad, dude.
Did you know Lou Holtz was a linebacker?
I mean,
there's not about that screams linebacker.
Man, that was back before integration.
I mean, it was 56, 57. Is anybody?
Anyway.
For Kent State, so yeah, I mean, I can see it. I probably thought like long snapper or something.
Wait, that was your number what?
That was my number 3, Ernie Johnson.
Ernie Johnson. Okay, my number 3. I think you said him earlier. I got Dan Patrick.
Yes, all Dan Patrick. He has one of the best voices.
Great voice. And because he basically,
I feel like
he was the first big push for like the new wave of people doing their own shows.
Yes, like him and Jim Rome.
Right. Well, Jim Rome was more. I don't know. I guess their shows are the same, but for some reason, I feel like Dan Patrick's is different. Like it is a network type show on, because like Jim Rome is more of like a personality within himself.
Yeah.
Dan Patrick is more of his own network.
Yeah.
Like just the way, like he basically does the same thing ESPN does, but he does it on his own.
Yeah. It just occurred to me that Dan Patrick, who SVP wishes he was.
Fair.
I feel like everything cool about Scott Van Pelt, Dan Patrick mastered it.
Really, I would have Dan Patrick in the top 2 if it weren't for. It's almost like he got to the point he started taking himself too seriously.
Yeah.
Because when he started doing which I guess it was a lot during the pandemic stuff. I even stopped listening to the show.
Dude had the strongest mustache in broadcast history too.
I just couldn't stand his, like the first 20-minute opening of almost all of his shows was a monologue that he would just sit there and preach about something that's terribly annoying. Like, look, this is a sports broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't need you to give me a 20-minute monologue on some serious political event.
You know who does that? Kind of half-ass is Colin Cowherd. I feel like
Cowherd does too. I cannot stand Cowherd.
He takes the monologue and just runs away with it.
Yeah, I don't care what your
mustache. That thing was strong as fuck. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, oh my god.
Like, I don't care what your opinion is on anything. I just want to hear sports content.
Yeah, and your take on the sport. I don't care about the politics.
Right. Yeah. So that's the only reason I had to move Dan Patrick down, is because like that little part, I feel like he started taking himself too seriously. But still, he paved the way for like all these new like the whole new platform of like doing your own thing and like being terribly successful, having a team doing it, and
Yeah. You just gave me an idea. There needs to be a sports show that just deals with politics, just so they get it out. You just go in that one little echo chamber and just get the fuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it.
No, me neither. Exactly. Yeah.
But there's an audience out there that just want to listen to politics and sports.
Oh, dude. Oh, that sounds miserable.
I couldn't do it.
But people like people that watch the news. I can't understand it. All it is bad news. I don't want to sit there and watch that.
If it's something major happening, I want to see coverage of it.
Yeah, right.
But once it dies down, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I don't want you to start fake covering stuff.
Yeah, like if it's not there, don't report it.
Yeah, they just want the views. So I mean, anything they can hype up, they're going to hype up.
It's like living clickbait.
Right.
Yeah, don't like that.
But anyway, my number 3 spot, Dan Patrick.
All right, my 2 and 1. All right, I'm not going to give them back to back. I'm just prefacing. Like, this is how sportscasting should be.
Okay.
This is how I feel like these next 2 picks are the future of sports broadcasting. Because sports is supposed to be fun, so they all keep it fun. Number 2, I got the Pardon My Take guys. I got Big Cat, PFT, Hank, and Billy Football, and Jake Marsh.
I did not think of them as sportscasters.
I give it to them podcasters, sportscasters. Why not?
Right. Yeah, they do strictly talk about sports. So they are sports media personalities.
Yes. And they don't they do give some serious insight, but they make it fun.
Right. Yeah, I did.
Like they don't take themselves serious.
I didn't even think about those guys. But they do have one of the best sports coverage like podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and get that thing ready, dude. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I like the Pardon My Take guys. The only beef I have with them is it sounds like they purposely make their audio sound trash.
No, it's legit trash. Hank doesn't know what the
hell
he's
our
doing.
audio is better than theirs, and they have their whole bar.
That's because like their producer Hank, like they will not get rid of him.
Dude, but it sounds bad. Like it sounds like the first iteration of this podcast.
I believe it.
When all we were doing was plugging the USB mic straight into the computer.
I believe that. So, but it's a fun show.
It is fun, yeah.
Like when they do guys.
PFT dude is hilarious.
PFT is probably the wittiest guy in all of sports media. Like his jokes, like hold on, let's kill some Eric. He said something recently that just fucking killed me.
I still think the wittiest guy in all of sports is Ty Schmidt. He's on the Pat McAfee show.
I gotta get to PFT.
Dude, Ty Schmidt, because he got like his whole thing is he got accepted to Harvard, but he went to Iowa instead.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's supposedly he really is supposed to be some genius, but like he's just a self-proclaimed just dumb sports guy.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. How are you going to remember exactly what moment it was in the show?
What do you mean?
Were you going back to find a clip?
No, like finding something he said. I don't know if it was on Twitter or.
No, but that dude is hilarious.
He said something.
Big Cat's pretty funny too, but you can tell he is like playing off of PFT. Like PFT is like the one thinking of all the like quick-witted, thinking.
I can't find it. It was good though.
I'll take your word.
Oh, it was 8 days ago. Here it is. It was on Twitter. It was Kyler Murray. It's that meme where the two guys are like shaking hands.
Yeah.
The muscle guy, like one's black, one's white. The black guy's Kyler Murray. The white guy's Vladimir Putin. And the handshake, it says, "A little Russian man making confusing demands while struggling against the West."
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because Putin's like 5'5".
Right.
Little Russian man. It's kind of like, who thinks of that?
And he's a runner of a QB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making confusing demands while struggling with the like the man doesn't mess with his shit.
Yeah, nailed it.
All right, so that was my number 2.
My number 2, I originally had 1A, 1B, just because like
that's how I was with this one.
My number 2, I think he is by far. It's like not even close. He's the coolest old guy in all of sportscasting, and the best football voice for me now. I got Al Michaels.
Not an Al Michaels guy.
Love Al Michaels.
I guess because I just was so used to John Madden, Pat Summerall, that when Al Michaels took Pat Summerall's place, it felt like stepdad. Like you're not my real dad.
I hear you. And maybe it's just because the juxtaposition of him and Collingsworth, and I can't stand Collingsworth, so I just like to hear Al Michaels instead.
Oh, yeah. But one's an analyst, the other one's color.
Well,
so you
I know
can't
that.
really compare the two.
Right, but I'm saying, like, it just makes whenever Collingsworth is not talking, it makes it that much more enjoyable. I don't know. But no, Al Michaels, dude, I mean, I'm going to roll this into both of our number ones. Get the buzzer ready. I know you're about to say.
Yeah, dude.
So, honestly, recently, what pushed Al Michaels through to the top for me recently is all of his appearances on the Pat McAfee show. The dude, he's like, he is hilarious. He's like he's smoking gars. He's wearing a cut-off sleeve shirt, flexing and stuff, talking all this trash. Like, you never see that kind of personality out of these old, microphone guys.
All right, so let's go ahead and hit it.
Our number 1 got obviously Pat
McAfee.
I mean,
he's the future. Like, this is
the dude is hilarious.
Like I said, part of my take in Pat McAfee, this is what sports talk should be like. And it's fun. Sports should be fun. It should not be taken serious.
And it don't matter what time of year it is. Like, it's the only podcast I can't wait all day for it to drop. I don't listen to it live. I wait till it drops. It's usually around 3. Sometimes it don't come out till like 4:15. I'm just like every 5 minutes refreshing and refreshing.
And name one other guy who's more respected in sports than Pat McAfee.
Well, I mean, like now, everybody respects McAfee because they all want to do what he's doing.
Yeah, like he's having fun. Like he's doing his podcast. He's crushing it
and being completely real the whole time. I mean,
being completely real.
Just talking trash, dude. They talk trash about people just.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. Like,
exactly. Dude.
Like this guy is the future of sports broadcasting.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And he's a punter.
Yeah, of all things for the brand.
For the brand, yeah.
Like he grew out of Barstool. Like you don't see that.
Oh right, yeah.
That's where he got to start.
Yeah, nobody, supersedes them, but he did.
He did. He grew past. He's crushing it right now.
But yeah,
he's even a commentator for SmackDown on WWE.
Right.
And he actually has a WrestleMania match coming up.
I saw that.
That's pretty fucking hilarious. That's the one. I'm thinking about getting WrestleMania just so I can see Pat McAfee.
But yeah, I mean, just the way he does his show, and it's entertaining the entire time. There could be absolutely no sports going on.
It's just he has a way of just chilling with his guests.
Right.
It doesn't sound like an interview. They're just talking. There's bullshit. It's like what we're doing right now.
It's even funny. It's like on
that's like him and Theo Von are like the two guests I want on the show.
Dude, that would be unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who I want more. Probably Theo.
I'd take Theo. Nobody's funnier than Theo, dude. Not off the cuff.
He'd probably rank like textures. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and he could. He could do it with no preparation.
Yeah, he would just fire off top 10, top 10 things to throw at Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And the dude would kill it.
But yeah, Pat McAfee, dude. I mean,
that was the first golden buzzer, buzzer we've hit in God knows how long.
I'm wildly surprised we didn't overlap more. Which I mean, we had about 4 of the same picks.
The well was deeper than I thought.
Yeah, same. But yeah, dude, I mean, legitimately, that's the only show I cannot wait for every single day. It was like that for the Dan Patrick Show for a while before I stumbled across Pat McAfee, which, I mean, McAfee's only been doing a show for 3 years now, 4?
Something like that. I think it was a lot. Yeah, I think we're going year 4.
I've been rocking with it for 2.5. So, I didn't find out about him the first year. I just started
listening to him more religiously within, the past 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Just because I'm just tired of the same old, same old.
Right. Yeah.
I just need to mix it up.
Easy number 1, though.
Yeah.
When we're talking about sportscasters.
Yes.
And he actually does. So anybody that's listening to this list that's pissed about or not following what you think a sportscaster is.
It's not just guys in the booth.
Well, he is in the booth too, occasionally.
Yeah.
He's called college football games. He's called some NFL games.
Imagine the bag he could get if ESPN got him for Monday Night Football. How many people would tune in?
Oh, yeah.
Like Manningcast is killing it. But you put Pat McAfee in the regular booth, nobody's watching Manningcast.
Right. No.
Everybody's been watching Pat McAfee call a game.
Because he's just naturally entertaining.
Yeah. He just has that it factor.
Right.
You want to watch him. You want to hear him. He's like the anti-you.
Who's you?
You.
Who's you?
Jacob Purdy.
But yeah, dude. I mean, golden buzzer for an obvious reason. That one's easy.
That was a golden buzzer. No, that's the.
There you go. Just hit them all.
Just hit them all at the same time.
Just let them run, baby. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Just hit all the sound buttons up.
We got to program these buttons, dude. I got to figure out how to do it. I got to upgrade the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so rundowns.
All right, let me get back to it. My number 10, I got Jay Glazer. Number 9, Doris Burke.
No, dude, that is for Ana de Armas.
Well, that's Doris Burke for me.
No, whatever.
All right, number 8, Joe Rogan. Number 7, Teddy Atlas. 6, Rich Eisen. Number 5, Dan Patrick. 4, Chris Berman. 3, Ernie Johnson. 2, the Pardon My Take guys. And number 1, Pat McAfee.
Okay, my number 10, Gary Streisky. 9, Joe Rogan. 8, Chris Berman. 7, Jim Nance. 6, Bob Costas. 5, SVP. 4, John Madden. 3, Dan Patrick. 2, Al Michaels. And number 1, Pat McAfee.
All right, so that's
it. Speaking of Pat McAfee, coming Thursday, y'all going to get top 10 drinking occasions.
Hell yeah. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a fun
one. Yeah, and drinking occasions. That's so it's in the spirit of the fact that we're doing it's a St. Patty's Day special.
Yes.
I mean, we were going to do drinking holidays, but there's only 9 holidays.
Yeah.
How can you do,
Drinking Father's Day?
Drinking occasions. I mean, even still, you could name every single holiday. There's not enough of them to drink on, really.
Yeah. I mean, really, any holiday's a drinking holiday if you drink
here. Fair. Yeah. So, stay tuned. Wait, all right, I'm doing the outro, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, stay tuned for Thursday.
That's it. Peace.